I suppose you're here because Ilyna has been kicking your ass. Let's get her out of the way. Disclaimer, this one is a peculiar case because she is proficient in both melee and ranged magic damage, so we have to take that under consideration when planning our defenses. She will be using a rapier for the first fight. She attacks super fast and deals good chunks of damage if she manages to land a combo. She is considered a humanoid for some reason, unlike some of the other bosses, so she will regenerate stamina, and that means that you have to hunt her around so you keep pressure on her and not allow her to regenerate. The charge attack that you just saw is one of the easiest attacks in her repertoire to avoid. You can go for a brink guard, you can go for a dodge or a simple guard if you don't feel like gambling, but it will not break your stance and the poise damage is not that high. Her own poise is kinda low. When you manage to put pressure on her and she tries to retaliate expending her own stamina, you will be able to eventually break her stance and go in for the brutal. She is not very resilient and her defenses are kinda so-so, but the real problem is that of course she has a second phase where she employs more tricks and is able to zone you better with magic. After you take out about 30% of her health, she will start levitating and summoning these spheres and damage waves. There is a tell to how she will cast them. She will actually throw a projectile in the air that will designate where the spheres will come from, and getting into the second phase here, as you can see, she deploys a lot more magic than she did initially. All her melee attacks are still on the table, but her magic casting is more prominent. Here you just saw her throw the arrow there from the left side, and the spheres indeed came from the left side of the arena. Do not feel overconfident or getting close to her just to stick there and put pressure on her stamina, because she can create damage zones at her feet, as you just saw, and punish you for it. It's always a calculated risk when you're gonna go in. For the majority of the time after she comes into the second phase, she will create a shield around her that will reduce your own damage output. You can see the shimmering shield here. As with Beleriand, if you manage to crush this shield, she will take a big chunk of stamina damage, like depicted in the vid. She will regenerate the shield of course after you're out of the damage phase, and you will have to break it again. When you go below 50%, her charge attack hits twice and leaves a trail of chaos behind her. I recommend you have some chaos cures on you. You don't want to fight this enemy with half a bar of HP, and if you can create an opening to use them, just heal what you lost and be on your guard for her counterattack. She is not as pushy as some of the other bosses when you try to heal, but this for her is a double-edged sword. She tries to keep her distance to zone you out and come in for easy attacks, so when you're about to heal, chances are you're gonna catch her in her downtime if you're paying attention. Again, people, this is a battle of attrition because she can regenerate stamina, like with Elamain, like with Beleriand. Bosses of this ilk are very annoying because you have to hunt them around to apply pressure. Do not overdo it, do not overcommit when you can't approach her enough, because as you're trailing behind her, she will be leaving projectiles and damage zones in your wake, and you'll just be stepping in them and getting slaughtered. Also remember that you have your phantom form. If at any point during these area attacks you feel like you don't know where retaliation will come from, or you feel overwhelmed, just activate phantom form to create this buffer and avoid the damage. Every damage, every bit of health taken out of the phantom form is buffered by the phantom bar itself. It doesn't go to Khazan. Now this purple wall that you see here is one of her late fight techniques. She will create these corridors of energy. You'll see this technique in a boss in the near future. I will also be covering that. And she tries to get you in there, so if you try to dodge left or right, you will take damage. They don't really cover much real estate, just stay away from them. Only the combination between her orb and wave attacks and the existence of such a wall can really cause you any trouble. Here I wanna bank the win in as safely as possible, so I go into phantom form, hammer here for a bit, going for the brutal and then the katana draw, and the fight is over. Sub, like, and hit the notification bell for more Khazan. I'm covering everything in the game. Until next time, be well, stay frosting, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!